Elevate your soul, elevate your mind, elevate your life. Welcome to the very first episode of the Elev8ed Book Club, a space where we break down the most powerful success books ever written and apply their timeless wisdom to transform our lives. I am your host, Dr. Jaye Johnson, and today we begin our journey through one of the most life-changing books of all time, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And I just have to say, this book holds a very special place in my heart, as it is one of the books that was catalyst for me on my entrepreneurial journey. This book is not just about money, it's about mastering the principles of success in every area of life. In today's episode, we're covering the origin and purpose of Think and Grow Rich, why this book has created more millionaires than any other. The first principle, desire, the starting point of all achievement. How to cultivate a burning desire that makes success inevitable. Reflection questions and action steps to apply these lessons today. If you're ready to unlock your potential, grab your journal, your favorite beverage, open your mind and your heart, and let's get started. Before we dive into the principles of success, let's talk about why this book exists. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying 500 of the world's wealthiest and most successful people at the time, including Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John D. Rockefeller. The big idea is that all successful people, regardless of background, followed the same core principles, and these principles could be learned and applied by anyone willing to master them. This book is not just theory, it's a success system that has been proven for nearly 100 years. Why this book still works today? In every generation, Think and Grow Rich has transformed the lives of those who studied and applied its teachings. Here's a few examples of modern day success stories inspired by Hill's work. Damon John from Shark Tank read Think and Grow Rich at 16 and used its principles to build FUBU. Bob Proctor credits this book for taking him from broke to multimillionaire. Even Oprah Winfrey talks about the power of visualization and belief, key principles from Hill's work. And dare I say myself, it was the catalyst for launching my own entrepreneurial endeavors and following my own dreams and passion. This book works for those who are serious about success. Ask yourself this: are you just reading this for information, or are you committed to applying its principles? Napoleon Hill tells us that everything begins with desire. The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in your mind. Weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat. Translation: if your desire for success is weak, your results will also be weak. Success is not for those who kind of sort of want it. It's for those who are obsessed with making it happen. The power of desire comes from within. A true burning desire is more than a wish. It's a deep emotional need that drives action. Take our star of Chapter 2, Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes had one goal: to work with Thomas Edison. It wasn't to work for Thomas Edison, it was to work with him. That's a key distinction. But check this out. Barnes had no money, no connections, didn't even know Edison, and no formal education. On top of that, he lived in a completely different city. But he did have a burning desire, and he refused to take no for an answer. He traveled by freight train, not even passenger train, by like cargo. This dude traveled to meet Edison and was granted an unimportant, insignificant job within Edison's company. He wasn't working with Edison, he was working for him. Edison threw him a bone, had him doing non-essential work. But eventually, he seized an opportunity. When Edison created his dictation machine, none of his sales reps were excited about this. They didn't know how to sell it. They didn't want to sell it. They weren't passionate about it. But Barnes saw that as his opportunity. And he did such a great job at selling this machine that he eventually became Thomas Edison's partner. He didn't just wish for success, he was obsessed with it. Ask yourself this: is your desire strong enough to push you through setbacks, rejections, and difficulties? Hill gives us a 6-step formula that is timeless for transforming your desire into reality. I've used it in my own life and manifested so many different miracles and blessings and so much prosperity and abundance that I use it all the time with my coaching clients and consulting clients as well. Let's break down this 6-step formula. Step 1 is to define your exact goal. We all know that specificity is important. What do you really want? What is it specifically? It's not, I want to be rich. It's, I want $10 million within the next 12 months. Step 2 is decide what you're willing to give. Success requires sacrifice, time, effort, resources. What are you willing to exchange for your goal? And sometimes the exchange needs to be something that is character-based. It may be you exchange gossiping for speaking with integrity. It may be that you exchange people who are negative for communities that support your growth. It may be you exchange watching 2 and 3 hours of television at night for time spent studying, sharpening your saw. Only you know what that is. But what are you willing to give? Step 3, set a definite deadline. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid of this. This is a place where we get a little skittish. You want to set a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just a dream. So you want to be specific and don't worry about it. I know the fear around setting deadlines is the fear that it won't materialize within that time. But trust me, miracles happen when you take this definite action. Step 4. Create a plan and start immediately. Even if your plan isn't perfect, take action right now. And let me tell you this, you don't have to painstakingly sit down and try to calculate everything that you need to do in order to realize your goal. There are so many tools out there to help you do this in a matter of minutes. AI is one that's really great at creating plans. Utilize the tools that you have at your disposal. Step 5, write a clear statement. Combine all these steps into a written statement and read it every morning, every night. And I want to just add to this, step in front of the mirror and generate this statement every time you read it as if you're generating it from your soul. Bring in the emotions and feelings of having this desire realized into your reading it. Play this full out. Trust me, tweaking this in this way is going to amplify it. And step 6, repeat it daily until it becomes a reality. Speak your goal into existence every day until your unconscious mind fully believes it. Don't give up on your goal. It's your goal. It's what you came here to be, do, and have. Repetition conditions your mind for success. Let's do this together. Wherever you are, repeat this after me. I have a burning desire to achieve my goal. I see it, I feel it, I live it, and I will make it real. Say it one more time. I have a burning desire to achieve my goal. I see it, I feel it, I live it, and I make it real. Let's talk about a real life story of desire and action. Have you ever heard of Sara Blakely? Sara Blakely is the founder of Spanx. So every time my girlfriend and I travel, we walk through an airport and there's a Spanx, there's a Spanx store there. And so I'm obligated, because she obligates me, to go into a Spanx store, and there's always way more bags with us after we enter that Spanx store. You get what I'm saying? Well, Sarah is the founder of Spanx, and she was selling fax machines. And her story is a little bit like Barnes's story, if you will. I mean, she was selling fax machines door to door before she became a freaking billionaire. She had an idea for a product, but no experience in fashion, manufacturing, or even business. Like, she faced rejection from every investor she pitched. But did she give up? No. She persisted. She believed in her idea so fiercely that she went all in. The result? She built a $1 billion brand from scratch. All because she refused to settle. Her desire was greater than her obstacles. Now it's your turn. Take out your journal and take on these reflection questions. You'll be surprised what you discover. The first question is, what is your burning desire? What is one burning desire you have? The second is, are you treating it as an option or as a must? And I say this, I pose this question because one of the things Napoleon says here is, if your goal is optional, if failure is acceptable, then you'll never get the goal. So, is your goal optional? Are you treating it like it's optional? Or are you treating it like it's a must? Like it must be achieved? Be honest with yourself. And our third reflection question: what will you give in exchange for your goal? What will you give up? What will you take on? What is your offer for this goal? I have some action steps for you too. Write your goal in the 6-step format. And take this up a notch. Record yourself saying it. Just record yourself with your phone, saying it and generating it with all the feeling and enthusiasm you can muster. And listen to it every single day, multiple times a day. And then the third action step is to take one action today and every single day, no matter how big or how small. Just make sure you're taking an action every single day. Your success is waiting for you, but it won't wait forever. That's it for today's episode of the Elev8ed Book Club. If you have found value in today's lesson, please subscribe to the podcast, share this episode with your network and friends, and join our free Elevated Purpose community. You can find the link to that inside of the show notes. And once again, elevate your soul, elevate your mind, elevate your life. Until next time, stay elevated.